So we're here today with Rob and Liz Grove from Grove Estate Wines and Vineyard here in Eccleshall, and we've just had a walk around their beautiful vineyard, which we'll show you later, just to find out a bit more about the business and what makes them tick and how it is working together as husband and wife. So when did Grove Estate first start then, and what was the inspiration behind the business?
We started in 2015. Bought the house, loved the house, and it came with this little vineyard.
Oh, right.
It's been established before we got here. It was quite young, and we knew absolutely nothing about grapes or vines or agriculture in general. So we decided that we'd have a little go at it, and then if it didn't work, then maybe we'd just plough it all up and put animals or donkeys, goats on it. So
the inspiration behind it was
yeah.
just the fact that it was there. We didn't have any other purpose for the land, so we thought, well, let's say we'll give it a go, and in 2 years' time, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. We soon realised the sheer volume of it, and it was going to produce, on good years, it can produce up to 3,000 bottles.
Wow.
And with all the best will in the world, we can't drink 3,000 bottles of wine.
Give it a good
we
go.
gave it a go.
So we knew we had to take it to retail,
Yeah.
and really that's where you guys came in as well, as you were one of our first retailers.
Oh.
And seeing the products on the shelf is just like really rewarding.
Yeah.
And it's just grown from there. We've sort of really taken the business forward the best we can.
Yeah, and they're beautiful wines. So
Thank
you say it's all been sort of a bit of trial and error, but they are beautiful, and you've been getting compliments off other winemakers and things about the quality of them. So you must be doing something right.
Yeah, we concentrate on growing the best grapes we can, and then that leads to a fantastic wine. And Liz and I have learned so much over the last 8 years that we're now far more heavily involved in the blending and the dosage. The dosage is just the process of lifting it from bone dry and giving the required sweetness. So most of our wines will remain dry, but we just lift them slightly to give them a slight sweeter taste.
Yeah, beautiful.
And we've enjoyed retailing it and growing the brand, developing the brand,
and
which is
tasting
clear on our labels. We have a specific look to our brand that customers recognise now.
Yeah.
And so that's been fun.
Yeah.
And marketing it and doing your lovely markets.
Yes.
And getting into restaurants and things. There's something new happening every year, and it's nice to do it together. So.
Yeah. And what would you say your biggest achievement to date is? Is there one thing that sort of stands out? Or?
In the early days, we very tentatively put the wines into national awards.
Oh yeah.
And the Still Red, the White Sparkling, and the Rosé Sparkling have all won national medals in the Independent English Wine Awards. So we're really sort of like impressed and chuffed a bit for that. And then more recently, getting into some of the really well-known restaurants. So since Upstairs in Lichfield's been open and won their Michelin star, we've been with them for 18 months now. And also Little Seeds in Stone, who are in the Michelin Guide. Yeah. So being recognised and accepted into that sort of quality of restaurant has just been a huge achievement for us.
Yeah,
and
it's amazing.
It confirms that we're doing something right, that people do like the wines, and they obviously charge quite a high price in those restaurants for the wine, and people are prepared to pay for it.
Yeah, and it's amazing because it's your back garden, really, isn't it? You know, so and it's nice, I guess, that you can do it from home and have such success off the back of something that's out of your back garden.
It started off as a little hobby, really.
Yeah, it's amazing. So is there anything you would have done differently along the way? Any sort of catastrophes that you think, I could have done that differently?
Lots of those.
Moved to a frost-free area, so we don't get affected by those.
I bet the weather is the hardest thing probably here, is it? I guess.
I mean, it is, and each year.
Grapes are cool climate though, grapes. So you have to select a certain type. Really, they selected a certain type of grape to plant, so that they would thrive in this cooler climate.
The level of yield is completely 100% dependent on the weather each year. Our best year was 2018. We had a lovely warm long summer, and we produced nearly 3,000 bottles that year, so it's always dependent on the weather. The things would change. So Liz and I basically started the vineyard with no knowledge, so we've learned everything from scratch. We inherited the vineyard in the state it was, with the vines that had been planted. If we could have done things differently, then maybe we'd have more varieties of grapes, so we could do more blending. But we've had success from what we've got, so we're thankful for for what they planted.
We've pretty much maxed out on the varieties. Each year we try and do a little bit of something new to the profile, so it keeps it fresh and interesting for both new and old customers.
And you've got a new row growing, haven't you, as well?
We have, yes.
So it's a new, is it a new variety?
It's
or
not
more
a
of
new
the same?
variety,
No,
is it?
it's more Save-Al. We've got a little bit more extra Phoenix as well. So we went through last year a process of filling in gaps where vines had died, filling in those, and then we had a new little area of the vineyard that we've planted. So we're expecting an extra sort of 10% from those. And we're also working with Soil Nurture, who are organic worm-based fertiliser, and they promised us a 10% uplift as well. So if we can get some sunshine for the rest of this year, maybe we'll get nearer to 4 tons of grapes and 3,500 bottles of wine. It'd be fantastic.
Amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be great. And what's it like working, I guess, for a family business, but it's mainly you two, but you have other family members that dip in and out, don't they? So...
We do, yes. We've my daughter Holly, she's helped with the marketing, and she's got lots of contacts that she's been able to call on for design of labels, and she's helped with our digital exposure. I was very unqualified to do that, and actually some of the posts probably still now are a bit amateurish, but we've got a lot better at it, haven't we?
And then my parents, I'm originally from the Isle of Wight. My dad grows about 10 or 12 Save-Al grapevines in his back garden, and he always comes up and tries to give me tips on on what to do and how I should be doing it. And that's what I try to explain to him. Actually, we're doing that job 1,000 times on the vines we've got. You're doing it 12, so you can take a lot more time. But they come up and they help out, and then we rely on friends and family to come and help with harvest. So if anyone follows us on Grove Estate Vineyard on Instagram, we'll be putting a post out in October asking for helpers on the harvest.
And we pay them in wine.
My gosh, that's like the best job ever.
So a bacon sandwich, a cup of coffee, and a bottle of wine of your choice.
Oh, really?
But
Definitely. That sounds good. That's really good. Yeah. And do you remember your first visit to us at Canalside Farm?
Yeah, so for Liz and I, it's the second time around marriage, so we obviously at that point, the first visit to Canalside would have been separate. So do you want to go ahead on your...
So my first visit was with my two, James and Holly, when they were tiny, strawberry picking. And the days of strawberry picking were at Canalside were when the strawberries were on the ground, surrounded by lovely clumps of straw, and you had to really hunt around for them. But it kept them occupied for hours.
That's the thing.
But so that was fun, and also I remember the early days before you expanded and had the cafe, and it's just a little tiny shed really on site. But we've always enjoyed the fruit, vegetables, produce. I love the bakery. That's a good add-on, and we enjoy the butchers.
But I
drive over there to get our meat.
I lived in Great Haywood for 15 years from 2000, so I remember it back in 2000 when it literally was a shed and some veg out the front, and going round there for that. And from how you guys developed it now, it's just amazing that in the space of 20 years how it's changed and the size of it.
I think it's all credit to the foundation, really. It's like you here with all the growing and the stuff that is will always be our signature, and we always want to keep doing that, but it's kind of adding the farm shop on just created a new customer base, and then the cafe now as well. So it's just
and all the lovely activities that you do for adults and children, really.
We'll just try and
the
you've got to
markets
try
are
and
amazing.
diversify and change all the time, haven't you, as well? That's the thing. So it's interesting. But like you do the wine tours here and stuff, I think people want to know where their food and their drink is coming from, and that's becoming more and more popular, and the provenance of things and supporting British and local is, I think COVID almost helped with that in a way, because we've never been busier in our farm shop, because people appreciated that quieter shopping experience, and maybe some of those people have stayed. So I think it's interesting times, and hopefully it continues that people shop local and support small businesses that are.
When we do our tours and tastings, the thing that blows people's mind, they can sit around the table that we are here today, and they'll be drinking wine that's produced from the vines that they can actually see. And it takes quite a while to get their heads around that fact. And when they do, they're just like completely shocked with that and the quality of the wine they're getting. So I think English wine did have a bad rap in the 70s and 80s, but now they're just amazed that they can sit here, the glass of Phoenix in their hand and actually see the Phoenix grapes growing in front of them.
And I think it feels good, and you trust it, and you can see it, and you know that it's not being sort of pumped full of something that you don't want it to be pumped full of, and you sort of know that where it's come from, and it's low food miles and all those positive things.
Yes, low in sulfites, which are the preservatives which give you the headache. So.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely tell when I drink your wine, I always get that instant flush of like red, and almost my neck gets red and my cheeks get red, but I just don't get that with yours. I think that is the sulfite factor, isn't it, really? And then before it starts raining, are there any exciting plans for the future that we need to know about?
We'd love to expand. It's tricky at the moment. There isn't a lot of land available around us, and we're not really keen to have a separate vineyard away from the house. But we would love to, and that's the plans. It's growing all the time. It used to be one of our issues would be like finding homes for the 3,000 bottles we produce. And now it's the opposite problem of like thinning out things and where do we actually send them to, and what customers do we want to be working with. And we're always trying to start new wines, but at the moment we've got 6 varieties of wine, 3 still and 3 sparkling. So there isn't really much option of where we could go. We could try an orange wine maybe, or something completely different. But yeah,
I think we're going to explore a covered area as well because of the English weather, and the showers and the tools, so that we can do wine tastings no matter what the weather, and that will really help the business. And also we've been asked if small parties could come and maybe renew wedding vows or have a special birthday.
That would be lovely. A wedding venue.
Yeah, but we are only small, and we're not licensed for more than 10 people. So, but it's something that we might dip our toes into.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time. It's been great. Thank you. And we'll share some pictures of the vineyard as well on our social media. So thank you very much, Liz and Rob from Grove Estate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.